Hey, it's Nitro Nerds here, and this is probably going to be the fastest weekly project update that we've done to date, because I'm trying to get this in within 10 minutes. Let's get started. So the monster here finally had a part that went out. I wouldn't say it broke, but it went out. I noticed that something was really wrong or odd with my suspension on it, and I finally figured out that it was one of the shocks, and it was bent, at least the screw was. So I thought, okay, it's just a shock screw, but it actually turned out, if you can believe, to be the standoff. So right here, excuse my grubby hands, but the standoff on it bent. So no big deal, I went ahead and got another set, so we're ready to go. That, as well as shock boots, are the only thing I've ever had to replace on this Mugen MBX6R. To that end, it definitely is in need of a rebuild. And by a rebuild, I'm not talking about like a makeover or anything like that. It's just time for me to tear it down 100% apart and go through everything, inspect everything, and update any items that have begun to war. I recently took the engine out, and just to check the clutch, and the shoes on it are starting to go. They're pretty worn, so I got another set here. And the way these M2C shoes work, there's a little dimple. It's kind of cool. There's a little dimple on the side of them. It's hard to see in this video, but once the shoes get down to that dimple, you got to replace them. So I'm taking it out for one final run tomorrow before I rebuild it. I'm also considering maybe putting on a Buku clutch. I haven't thought through that just yet. I love M2C. I think they have the most tuning options of any clutch setup that's out there in the market. But they can be kind of a pain in the ass to take on and off, and I've done it probably 30, 40 different times on multiple vehicles, but I mean, it is what it is, right? So anyways, final run tomorrow, rebuild maybe this week. And now, why am I waiting to do one final run before I rebuild it? Well, I'll give you two hints. If you look closely, something is different on here for you guys that are pretty astute. Something is a little bit different on here. Here's another hint. Later on in this video, you'll see. Concerning Big Bertha, I was going to sell her, and then I basically had seller's remorse. It was my very first kit I ever built, and the only reason I was selling it is because I wanted a Serpent. I'm still going to get a Serpent, but that doesn't mean I have to get rid of Big Bertha. And I started really just thinking through it. She's a badass truggy. I mean, these D8Ts, they're no joke. I mean, they're out there winning world championships. So, I mean, look, I just need to put a little effort into it, and that's what I'm doing. That begins by putting on a new engine. You can see right here, I got a Novarosi Roma for her, and for all intents and purposes, all the research I did, I wanted the freaking nastiest engine that's out there for truggies, and every avenue that I went down led to this engine right here. Much more on this to come later, because I just got the engine mounted today. Haven't broke it in. I'll probably break it in this weekend, but the bottom line is Big Bertha's back, and I guarantee you she's going to kick some ass. Coming up soon, maybe this weekend, like I said, I'll post a video showing all the stuff that I've done with her and I'm continuing to do with her, because it's more than just a new engine. The way I see it, I mean, if we're going to do it, let's do it. And then what will happen is that Serpent, he's going to have to work his way into our lineup. Speaking of fast, I don't know what to tell you about this Hyper 7 other than I am in utter disbelief on what I'm seeing. Did a little rebuild on it, and we were, rebuilding it to make it a basher, but now that we've seen what we've seen, we've decided, okay, this thing is going to be a thoroughbred racing machine. It's the only vehicle we have that can give my beloved 810 any sort of run for its money with respect to speed and quickness. I'm very curious to find out which one's faster. But I tell you what, we're going to find out very quickly. This weekend, we're going to see. If I had to put my money on it, I'd have to pick this right now, but we're going to find out. Here's the thing. Well, my 810 is maybe 40-50% of what it can be. This right here is only 10% of what it can be, and that's the scary part about all of this. We have so much more to go on this, and I mean, you look at some of the other projects we have, my D8T, new Roma, completely new setup. It's big stuff, don't get me wrong, but just wait until you see what we're going to do with this right here. because I want to thank one of our subscribers who turned me on to something, and I guess the best way I can explain it to you guys is that we're going to have probably the most unique Hyper 7 that's out there. But first things first, I've got one of the most unusual issues, if you want to call it that, with this engine. I'll go through it in detail later, but the short version is it's not getting up to operating temperatures, but it's hauling ass. So in other words, I have to start it and it's running really, really rich, temps are low, and I have to continue to lean it out. And I'm leaning it out and it's behaving fine. I mean, it's screaming its tits off, there's plenty of smoke, everything. But the temps are around 180, 190. It's very bizarre. The crazy thing is, it's tuned well, it's behaving perfectly, but for whatever reason, those temps are just not going up, and it's just, I don't know, it's freaking me out a little bit. One thing I did do is I put on a new fuel filter because I noticed that there is a little bit of fuel on the side over here. What I'm thinking it might have been is because when I did the rebuild, I cleaned out the air filter, and I might not have tightened the air filter as tightly as I could. I don't know, but this is going to be the first thing that I'm going to try. If that doesn't work, I'm going to try a new pipe, even though this pipe is perfect for this engine. I'll just try another 086, and if that doesn't work, then I'm going to just have to take the engine apart. Before I do that, of course I'll do my due diligence. I'll probably call OS too and say, hey, look, this is how far away from stock I am. I'm probably 2 full turns in on the high-speed needle. I'm still not getting the temps I want, and see what they say. But other than that, man, I mean, this is just, right now, not only is this the project that I'm most excited about at this moment, this is probably the project that has me most excited of all time, because we've not even scratched the surface. And you can see here, I'm still running these old Losi stock servos. I've got some ProTech 130Ts and 100SS I still want to put in here, but again, it's just kind of baby steps with it. I switched out on this B6. I took out a 2013 and put on a 2058. Now I take this 2013, I put it on this B5, and I take off this OFNA 86. I still really haven't got my pulse on any, surefire recommended pipe for this Roma engine. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to begin with an 086 pipe, which is the exact same pipe as a Novarosi 9886. It's a high-speed pipe, and the way I look at it, this truggy is going to be going at some high speed, so we'll start with this at least. Speaking of fun, the Savage, I'm still going through tanktifying it, and by that what I'm doing is I'm toughening it up, because frankly, in my opinion, there's areas in it with respect to durability that need to be taken care of, and I'm getting very close. Basically, it's just, you take it out, you test it, put it through the ropes, and something breaks and I fix it to where it doesn't break again. So what I'll do soon is I'll post a video, and it'll be a snapshot of all the things that I've done to it to make it one tough ass son of a bitch. Other than that, I'm still practicing my trick wheelies for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it turns out that I'm pretty dang good at wheelies. And so my goal is to ride a wheelie off of a ramp. So jump off of a ramp while riding a wheelie and do a double backflip. There's no doubt in my mind I can do it. And then finally, I am considering at some point getting a new engine for this. Not that I dislike the F46 that's in it right now. It's a really, really nice engine. But, it's getting up there, and I don't know, I'm looking at that Pico boost. So if anybody has any suggestions, let me know. But once I get this thing just, rough and tough and a badass Savage, because remember, I don't want a Savage, I want a badass Savage. And once it's to that stage, then I'm going to reward it with the new engine.
I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just Slim Shady. So want the real Slim Shady, please stand up, please stand up, please stand up. 'Cause I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real.
Losi at 2.0, I'm going to be doing some things to it soon. I'm going to try to lighten it up a little bit. It's not a pig, but I think there are certain areas where I can make some improvement in the weight. I think I can drop the weight probably a good maybe 8 to 10 ounces, and that's a lot. And so anyways, this is just kind of a work in progress, no immediate need. Other than that, definitely can't wait to test it out with this 2013 pipe on it. My beloved 810, haven't really done anything with her over the past week. You know, obviously been busy with other RC projects, but I am taking her out tomorrow. Try to get some practice laps in, but I can tell you one thing, she's still fast. The Mini 8 is the bane of my existence. I haven't done anything with it in probably 2 weeks. I went to put a new part on, a new chassis brace up here, and turns out that this screw going into the bell crank is stripped. Not only this one, the top one, but the bottom one. So I'm kind of in a bad spot because I can't get any torque at all. So I don't know, I'll get it worked out, I'll get it fixed. But when it is running, it's a lot of fun. And last, and hopefully not least, the Tamiya 801XT. I think it's great because we have a lot of subscribers who recently got one of these. And hopefully over the next 6 months we can get a little Tamiya 801XT community going, put our heads together, and talk shop, right? Because, I don't know about you, but first and foremost with me is durability. And I had someone reach out to me the other day and say, you know, is this thing durable? My response was, well, first, I don't know because we haven't taken it off-road. Second, based on what I've heard from people, compared to other $600 kits, you know, compared to an MBX6T, yeah, probably not so much. Compared to a Savage, I would imagine it is. Here's the thing about race kits. You have to make them yours. So in other words, you have to put your own little footprint on it. So, as an example, my D8T had some problems with it. Fixed it. It's a beast. We're giving this its shakedown run Saturday morning, and I guarantee you something on here will break. What it is, I don't know. If I had to guess, I'm probably going to say the arms, just because from what I've heard, this is a point of failure on it. Now, here's what you want to think about. If the arms break on here, I might replace it with stock. Well, if it breaks the first time, I don't know. But I'll put another stock one on there. They're cheap. If it happens again, then it's to the drawing board. Because what's the definition of insanity? If you guys don't know it, look it up. But I can tell you this, if I continue to break the same part over and over, that's not good. That's on me. Because what happens is, I'm putting the same damn part on it over and over. So I think in the end what's going to happen is, this will be, because there's not any aftermarket support, zero. In fact, even the performance upgrades aren't available. So this is a vehicle where it'll be fun because we get to get very creative. And I guarantee you, at the end of the day, we're going to have some Kyosho parts on here, some Mugen parts, even now, just the link setup alone. I mean, we got Hyper 7, Losi 810, D8T, so that's fun stuff to me. Durability has been, and will always be first and foremost. Then you get into performance. But like I said, you never know, and durability is very subjective. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought this Losi 2.0 would be as freaking durable as it is. And it's funny because you hear about the Savage, right? Savage is durable, man. Savage is tough. It's, you know, it's a tank and all this. You never hear that about Losi. Let me tell you this. Out of the box, this Losi 2.0 is a zillion times more durable than the Savage out of the box. We've not had to do anything with respect to durability on this Losi. With our Savage, we're getting there. It will be a true beast. And for the simple fact that even though I'm a newbie to all of this, I have, had the opportunity to I guess, get my hands on a lot of different makes and models, and I can just tell, there are some potential areas here that are going to break, and that's fine. It's just being smart, analyzing the situation, and whatever you do, don't just keep putting the same part on and let it break over and over. Now finally, he's going to be a little upset with me. I'm not going to go into the details, but we had a little back and forth with the body, and he was taking too long to do it, so I said, all right, I'll tell you what, I'll surprise him when he gets home from school today, and I'll do the body for him. Not the best. I mean, I've done a few. Some I have professionally done, but I did his. I don't think it turned out like I was hoping. Let's see his reaction. He won't be. I don't think he's not gonna be pissed. We don't have a relationship like that, but I think he'll say it's good, and then probably he'll either say, "Oh my God, that's horrible, or he'll fake pretend he likes it. Alright, so that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I've already surpassed the 10-minute mark, I'm sure, so screw it.
Dang. You did it?
Yeah. What do you think?
That's cool, that's cool.
You like it, really?
Yeah?
Oh, that's cool, man. I don't like it.
You don't?
No, I don't think it turned out well at all.
Me neither, I knew it would suck.
This weekend, though, we're going to have 2 battles. Big Bertha versus the Pink Menace, and the Freak versus Miss Thang. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.